As we said in the previous video, a major component of today's lab is going to be qualitatively looking at the magnetic field produced by a number of different situations. And the main measuring device we're going to use for that is this thing called the Magnaprobe. A Magnaprobe is nothing more than a little bar magnet that is connected to 2 degrees of freedom. It has the ability to turn in one direction and turn in the other direction. And the bar magnet is always going to align itself with the magnetic field that it's in. So if the magnetic field is pointing in this direction, the bar magnet would point in the same direction. And the reason why this is a nice little device is because we can rotate this thing around and it's always going to point in the same direction. Now we know that to the right of us is the Capitol. That's to the south of campus. And we know that the magnetic field lines from the Earth point from south to north. But one thing that's kind of interesting that may not be noticeable is that the magnetic field lines start at the South Pole. They wrap out of the Earth and then they enter into the Earth at various locations. And actually when we're in Texas, the magnetic field does point from the south to north, but it actually points more towards the way that we're pointing right now, where it actually points into the Earth. And that's just the way that the magnetic field lines from the Earth are set up. So it's kind of a cool little thing that we see just using the Magnaprobe. And compared to that, we could actually use a compass. This is what we normally see. And we don't have that extra degree of freedom, so we can't look at the vertical component. We can only look at the horizontal. The Magnaprobe is very similar to the compass. However, the compass lacks that extra degree of freedom. So we could use a compass, but the Magnaprobe actually is a better device to measure. One last comment about the Magnaprobe is that any physicist who has ever gotten their hands on a Magnaprobe has almost tried to walk off with the Magnaprobe. So that being said, we're going to check your boxes at the end to make sure that you don't steal this and do science on your own.